Hereby call this special town meeting to order. We have achieved a quorum, amazingly enough. At last count, we had 153 registered voters come to the meeting, and a few more are checking in now. We have a couple of important articles, but to begin with, as we always do, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and I have a couple of extra special helpers.
Is this working? Yep, good. All right. So you guys will face the flag. Come here. You hold that. All right. Go ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excellent. Good job.
All righty, and as we begin, just want to remind, we have a visitor section over here. If there are any voters in the visitor section, if you could just please move out, it makes counting the vote easier. Anybody who is not a registered voter, with the exception of my friends, if you could please move into the visitor section. Thank you very much. The rules for the town meeting, as always, will be town meeting time, which Jay is the only one with a copy in the room tonight, so we're going to be relying on him. I also, before we get to this, I also put out a challenge to the young voters of Hanson to see if I could get a couple of them to come to the meeting. I had to talk to Bruce Young. He explained he was a young and he was a voter and he should qualify. Not quite in the spirit of the rules. It was 18 to 24 years old. Do we have a group that came? We're going to keep trying. We're going to get this. All righty. Just interested to find out. Well, I don't believe there's going to be any call for a 2/3 vote tonight. Correct, Madam Clerk? So, just in case, though, that we want to declare a vote unanimous, if I could have a blanket motion for me to determine the quantum of vote just by voice vote, and if anybody challenges it, then we'll go to a recorded vote by card. But I make the motion that I be allowed to determine the quantum of vote. Do I have a second? Do I? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much. So we will move on to the articles of the meeting. Article 1, Mr. Hayes.
I move the town vote to transfer $555,095.13 from free cash for the costs related to the closing. The McQuon Elementary School was printed in the warrant.
Second.
Seconded. Mr. Hayes.
As you know, we've been discussing the McQuon Elementary School at length for years of all different types of what we're going to do there. And with the declining enrollment that we're facing here in the town of Hanson and also across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, for any people that have kept up with declining enrollment, even across the country, enrollment's down. We're down from 4,450 students to just under 4,000. It's about 10%. So with the declining enrollment, there's less use for buildings, and we're trying to close the McQuon School as a cost-saving factor to the town. But just anyone that might want to ask about birth rates, from 1990 to 2015 in this state, there's been a 22.7% decline in birth rate in the state of Massachusetts. And this was taken from the Mass Department of Public Health. And another interesting item that I found was in preteens from 2011 to 2015, there's been a 39% decline in teen birth rates. So whatever is going on in school districts and out in the public, it's happening in the right direction as far as that goes. So Having said that, there's many classes. I have a breakdown of what this is, if anyone would like to hear it.
Would anybody like Mr. Hayes to give the breakdown for the school?
Okay, Aquan, pre-K, move to the high school. Retrofit the computer labs into classrooms, 3 of them. Renovate the classrooms for pre-K, that means doorways, walks, painting, flooring, and lighting for 5. Install exterior doors with card access. Install interior corridor doors. Pre-K playground and turf kid play, playground fence, those are all on this list. Install 5 bathrooms, plumbing, electrical, sprinkler, ceilings, tile, ventilation, fire alarm, and concrete. Remove lockers and install storage cubbies. Moving company and crate rentals, update roadway for traffic flow, and additional staff to move to the high school. The total figure is $472,627.50. We requested some funding in December to get ready for this move and brought it to the selectmen, and $44,360 was approved. Now, out of that, Whitman and Hanson bear this cost. The town of Whitman pays 59.82%, and the town of Hanson pays 40.18%. So the town of Whitman has already voted $29,536, and the town of Hanson has voted $17,824. That leaves a balance for Whitman of $256,189.62, and a balance for Hanson of $172,077.88. That is just for the McQuon pre-K move to the high school. The next move is McQuon K-2 to Indian Head. Moving company and crate rentals. Library and administrative office move. Retrofitting classrooms for additional space. Retrofit in new bathrooms, plumbing, electrical, sprinklers, ceiling, tiles, ventilation, fire alarm, and concrete. 1 classroom split to make it into 2 larger bathrooms. Additional day for staff to move Indian Head. Technology equipment removal and reinstallation. Fencing around a play area. A pod rental, and a final cleanup. Total amount $332,568.25. And last, Indian Head grade 5 moved here at Hanson Middle. Moving company and crate rentals, additional day for staff to move to Hanson Middle, $8,875.
Are there any questions for Mr. Hayes? Yes, sir. If you could please come to the microphone and just state your name and your address so that we can keep track.
Hello? Okay, works. My name's Charles Hyatt, and I live at 615 State Street, Hanson. And I was going to ask you about, you know how you go into the high school? There's only one way to get in. You know how dangerous it is? But, you know, if you had something really bad going on, there's no way you're going to get all the people out of there with one way to go in. So are you going to have another way to get out?
The current high school,
Yes.
as built.
What do you mean?
As it's built right now, as you see it.
Yeah, it's kind of dangerous. There's only one way in.
That high school's 13 years old, and it
Yeah,
was
so
built
what?
it was built and approved with a safety committee. I'm pretty sure it's a 2-way road.
And I would
you should have another exit, like emergency exit.
I would interject that this is perhaps beyond the scope of what we're discussing tonight.
Yeah, but you said you're going to update the roadway here. Update roadway for traffic flow.
That's a new entrance, isn't it, Bob, to the high school?
Sorry?
Isn't that an entrance into the high school for the preschoolers?
Yes.
That's what that is.
Yeah, where's that located?
Are you familiar with the way the loop goes around? Well, we're going to be doing some new blacktop work at that loop, and where it comes down from the side of the building. There's a berm way, so some of that has to be moved out.
Yeah, but shouldn't you have another way to get out? I mean, you just go one way in. I know there's 2 ways here, one in and...
Well, also,
I mean, on the other side
I
or
guess
something like that.
technically, you could go down the roadway that goes behind the field. That's wide enough for a car, but there's no real access for that to come in and go out. You can get a car down there.
Yeah, but why don't you open that up?
I would suggest that that's a question for the school committee for another time. That,
Well, you said you're going to open it up, so.
well, he described how, and we're only voting on these proposals right now. I don't want to discuss traffic flow. It seems to be a bit out of the scope of the article.
I don't think so.
I do.
You
So-
do, but I don't think so. Because I travel through there every day, you know?
And so do I. But I'm ruling it out of the scope. If you want to discuss that particular plan that's being funded here, we
Yeah.
can do that.
Yeah, okay. Let's do it.
Mr. Hyatt, that probably isn't a bad conversation. If you'd like to come to a school committee meeting, I'd love to put it on the agenda, and we can discuss that seriously.
Yeah, really, I understand.
That's fine.
I'll show up.
We're hoping
When's the
that you
next
do.
time, when's the next time you're going to have a meeting?
Next meeting is Wednesday night, but I have to put it on the agenda, so it'll have to be for the meeting after that.
Okay.
Because it's a
Yeah, it's
48-hour
gonna snow
period.
anyway, so.
Pardon me?
It's going to snow anyway, so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other questions or concerns for Mr. Hayes?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing none, all those in favor of Article 1 as printed in the warrant, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Article 1 is adopted. Article 2. Mr. Amato.
Actually,
Oh, I thought I saw him come in. Mr. McGann.
I move the town vote to transfer $41,869 from the amounts appropriated in the May 2017 annual town meeting, Article 9, solid waste retained earnings, to supplement the amounts in the May 2017 annual town meeting, Article 9, solid waste expenses and indirect costs for the transfer station.
Do we have a second? Mr. Mitchell seconded. Mr. McGann.
Explanation: the funds, which will be transferred from the retained earnings, are to cover costs for solid waste disposal and transportation, unanticipated increased costs of recycling, as well as a few maintenance items. A detailed summary has been provided at town meeting.
Are there any questions or concerns? There is a handout that explained all of this, I believe, if people got it. It's on white paper. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none. All those in favor of Article 2 signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Article 2 is adopted. Article 3, Mr. McGann.
I move the town vote to transfer $17,500 from the amounts appropriated in Article 5, Line 18, unemployment, $20,300 from Article 5, Line 25, planning board salaries, and $25,000 from Article 5, Line 57, Norfolk County agricultural tuition, to supplement appropriations previously voted at the annual town meeting of May 2017 for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2017, for various town departments as printed in the warrant.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Mitchell. Mr. McGann.
The purpose of this article is to supplement the preceding line items in the current fiscal year's budget, fiscal year 18, in order to fund the additional expenses associated with the following. Item 1, legal. The funds are needed for the legal fees associated with the tax possession of auctions which were held in December. The 6 properties sold for a total of $171,000. Item 2, planning board. An interim town planner has been contracted. The funds are being transferred from the salary line to the expense line. Item 3, highway salaries. Funds are needed to cover the shortfall in the overtime line. The overtime was incurred due to the gas line replacement along Liberty Street. The town is anticipating reimbursement from the gas company.
Do we have any questions or concerns on Article 3? Seeing none. All those in favor of Article 3 signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Article 3 is adopted. And with that, I thank you all for coming out tonight. It's so good to see you all in the middle of the winter. Hopefully we'll see you all in May when it's nice and warm. Oh, do we have a motion to adjourn the town meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
So moved, seconded. The town meeting is adjourned.